That
Oh
sounds like
man,
a nice little break in the sentence, so it's not a run-on. All right, perfect.
that's where I'd take a breath,
Fuck a semicolon.
but I don't know his lung capacity. I can't predict where he's going to stop.
What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Dual Hemisphere Hangout. My name is Luke, and join with me each and every week. I do have my lovely co-host Jake. Jake, my man, say hello to the people.
Hello, everyone. How are we doing? I have recovered slightly.
Woo!
I've had a sick week. Well, not so
Mm.
sick week because I've still been in work every single day because I'm a team player.
Yeah, you are.
I'm a team player. But no, I had loads of bits on my agenda because Rachel's been on late shifts all week. So she's been working till 12 midnight on Monday, Tuesday, and then 10 p.m. on the rest of the week. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Mhm.
So I usually use that time to edit, script, like do little YouTubey bits while she's not in because why not? But instead, I have had to sit in a dark room on, well, the sofa with no lights on. Well, it looked a bit dodgy because turns out the best colour for a migraine, because I get really bad migraines now for some reason. You can either set your hue lights to, well, I have hue lights, but your smart lamps to purple or dark red, like really dark red. Because red's really good for sleeping, right? Because it doesn't have, I think it's blue light that keeps you awake, something like that. So yeah, it looked a bit like a naughty place because the house was a little red.
Talk about the red light district. Okay.
Yep, in the middle of Australia somewhere, not in the rural suburbs of Perth. But yeah, I've been suffering with the old migraines all week. It's I don't know what it is. It just keeps coming back, and like one day I'll feel fine. Next day, like brain splitting straight down the front, and then I don't know if other people get migraines, but I lose vision. Like peripheral vision goes, and like my right eye is really bad. So if I lose all depth perception as well, it's mad.
Damn.
If you like cover one eye and start trying to do tasks, it's not good. But yeah, it's been a hell of a week. I do sound like I've got a cold, but I haven't. It's just I've just woken up.
Good. Fair.
I'm just tired.
That's what everyone says to me. They're like, "Are you sick?" I'm like, "No, I've only been awake for 30 minutes. Leave me alone."
Yeah, give me a moment. Once I drink my coffee, I'll be fine. I promise. I have got a bit of a nasally voice anyway. That's one thing I've always wanted to fix, and I think it's because I've got a really bad deviated septum.
Fair.
But I'm worried like if I get it fixed and I still sound like this, or even worse, if I get it fixed and I don't like the way I sound afterwards.
Yeah.
Like,
What if your voice goes higher? That'd be a.
Oh no. Hello guys.
Oh man, that'd be so funny. That's crazy, but I'm glad that you're feeling a little bit better. It's no fun dealing with migraines or headaches. I've never been one to. I've never really had like I can't say I've never had a migraine. I've definitely had migraines, but I'm not. They're not. They're very infrequent. Like I call them just basic headaches, but they only really happen. Like my really bad headaches happen when I'm just extremely stressed, and I get them like right here, the sides right here, really bad. Like tension headaches or something like that. I was dealing with a lot of that in Florida because I was very stressed a lot in Florida. So I would always get those really tension headaches right around there. But like for that, besides like 1 year period, like very infrequently would I would have a headache. And if I did have a headache, it was usually because I was sick, not because of anything else other than like I was sick. And like you, Jake, yeah, last weekend and for a majority of this week, I was just basically recovering. Yeah, Friday night, little peek behind the curtain. I got home, went straight to bed, woke up to do the podcast. We filmed the podcast, did an extra content shoot. Then I went to bed, and yeah, that weekend I was dead to the world. Still had to go to work Monday because if I was out and the place wouldn't function, and so I was fighting like working sick, and then I didn't start really feeling better till probably Thursday, but I was just so, like, when you're sick, man, you like it. Obviously, you're supposed to rest and feel relaxed and recovered, but honestly, you're putting your body through a lot when you're sick, so you never really rest, right? Like you kind of recover, but you don't really rest because your body's fighting all the infection and stuff like that. So like Thursday, I pretty much got home. I was like, okay, I finally can like sit up and not feel like trash. So I'll set my computer, started doing scripting, and then halfway through the scripting process, I just caught myself like this and
It's
just
very Zen mode, isn't
knocked
it?
out.
Scripting.
Yeah,
Like,
knocked out, not literally knocked out in my seat like this, like hand on the keyboard, everything, like eyes fully shut, and like I like woke up. My fridge started making noise, and it was already like 9:15. And I sat down at 8 o'clock, and I'm like, "This, there's no point." And I just took a shower, went to bed, and then today I just said, you know what? I was like, instead of forcing myself to script right now when I'm not in the mood, I'm just gonna play some champions, get pissed, and then join the podcast afterwards. I'm in Ultra Ball hell, man. Like, dude, like people
oh
have been. I didn't,
no.
I didn't realize it was a meme because people were like, Wait till you get to Ultra Ball rank 4. Like, that's when the real shit begins." And they weren't fucking kidding, dude. Like, Ultra Ball is just like it's so weird because it's like it's not hard to get to Ultra Ball. Like I got to Ultra Ball pretty swimmingly. It wasn't very challenge. I'm running a pretty much a quasi tailwind rain counter team in the sun. Um, but it's weird because people who go in there, basically like you could follow like a Wolf Click team and build that, and you could probably get to Ultra Ball pretty
Oh,
easy.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. All you really need to get into Ultra Ball is like maybe a 6 game win streak, and you can just get to Great Ball from there, and then get to Ultra Ball from like a 7 game win streak. Um, but the thing is, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They know how to copy Wolf's team and uses a couple moves, but they don't really know like competitive play. So like you're predicting that they're gonna do it because you see like a standard VGC team. You're like, all right, I know this Incineroar's gonna fake out. I know this Whimsicott's gonna tailwind. I know this is going to happen here. This is going to happen there. And then do the exact opposite of what you plan to do. And then you end up getting 3-0 because you're like, well, I misplayed because they misplayed. And
Yeah,
it's,
it's
it's,
ult-
it's,
Ultra
it's,
Ball.
it's tough. It's
Yeah,
tough.
I would say Ultra Ball 4 is
Mm,
the equivalent of like there's a new tier, isn't there? There's Master Ball and Champion. Like
yeah.
Champion. I'd say Ultra Ball
Champion. Yeah.
4 is the equivalent of Champion because
Hmm.
it's like a paradigm, right? It's like the bell curve. So you've got the player
Yeah.
that takes Wolfie's team and that just plays like completely off the rip, like they don't understand what they're doing. Then you get into Master Ball, which is like meta. Like you're going up against players that might make some predictions, but usually make the safest play. And then you get the upper echelon of players, which play like Ultra Ball 4 players,
Mm,
but with intention. Like they're
yeah.
doing it for late game, which makes it that's what separates a really like a good Pokemon player and someone like Wolfie or James Beak or Tola
Hmm.
Webb. Like they
Yeah.
know like, okay, this turn I'm gonna bring in Incineroar. I'm not going to click fake out because I want to make my opponent second guess. The next time I send Incineroar in, it's like, oh right, he didn't click fake out last time and he should have done. So now do I take the 50-50 and say that he's not gonna do it again?
Hmm.
Or because if I lose this 50-50, I'm gonna lose the whole game. Like it's
Yeah.
but that's what you have to deal with in Ultra Ball, but there's no prediction to it whatsoever.
No, there's not. Like, there's no intention. Like, it's just they don't know what they're doing, and then like, I'm by no means am I saying I know what I'm doing because I mean I know what buttons to click and what moves do and like type advantages and like the general aesthetic of like how teams are shaped up. But it is just the randomness where I'm like, I'm predicting they're going to do this, and by all means they should be doing this, and then they don't do it, and it throws me off. Like I think someone I was I'm laughing because it pissed me the fuck off. I was so confused because I was going up against a Mega Zard Y, and by all barometers, you should expect this thing to hit heat wave through and through. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to use protect on this, and then I know this heat wave is going to do some damage, but not do some damage. I had a Hisui Gudra out there. This fucking thing, first off, doesn't hit heat wave. For some reason, this guy is running flame, like not flamethrower. What's it called? Overheat Charizard.
Oh, right. So he
And it
got a nuke button.
Yeah, he's got a nuke button. But mind you, he had already hit overheat twice. So it was a -3. So I'm like, okay, he's gonna have heat wave. There's no choice specs in the game. This guy has no idea what he's doing. He hits it for a third time. I'm like, there's no way he's not that dumb. Hits it for a third time. It crits and one shots me. And then I'm just like, oh my
moments,
god.
man.
It's like, oh my god, why do I play this fucking game?
Those moments take you one of either two ways. Like, you sit there and go, well, that's Pokemon, I guess. Or it's, I'm putting this game down or else I'm going to snap my Switch in half.
Yeah. I've already lost one Joy-Con, so I'm just putting that out there. It's like, I'm just listening, I'm like, I just toss it against the wall, and I pick it up, and it's like, split, and I'm like, I crunch it back together, and it works, but I'm just like,
they're
motherfucker.
indestructible, them things. Barring the
They
stick
are.
drift, like, in
Yeah.
terms of impact damage, those Joy-Cons they're made to go through.
They're made to go through. Trust me, plenty of those things have been thrown during draft league. So I'm like, this one, I'm like, this isn't one of mine. I got this one. I got this one off Facebook Marketplace. I'm like, hopefully this one's got the true justice, got the Luke strength to it, because if not, this thing's gonna fucking snap real quick. Like, you're just gripping it so hard, you can just feel the plastic start crinkling in your hand. You're just like, if I squeeze even harder, I know it's just gonna crumble in my hand. And I'm like, but I have to hold myself back because I need to go battle again because I have a sick addiction to this game.
I'm glad I haven't started. And I'm glad I don't think I
Ah,
will start. Luckily.
ah,
I am
don't do it.
too far
Don't
in
do it.
my
Don't do it to yourself.
I don't know what to call it, flow state of just clicking reset 8,000
Mm,
times to get a shiny, and that's doing
there you go.
my dopamine enough at the
There
moment.
you go. We love that. We love that very, very much. We love that. Oh my goodness. Whew, that was fun.
I don't think I can. I don't think I can bring myself
No.
to do champions at the moment. It's
No. No,
I
it's
do get the
tough.
fun
It's
behind it
tough.
though. Like
It's fun. I mean, it is fun. It's fun when when you go in it expecting to just play some battles and have fun. Like, it's a fun game. But one thing that we learn about each other, that me and Jake know each other, but the one thing that we don't laugh about too often is Pokemon. You get very serious when we're playing Pokemon battles against people. And so as much as I'm like, oh, this is so, like, if I'm testing out a brand new team or something like that, then I'm like, all right, like, I'm having for this for fun. Like, I ran an Absol team last night because I got annoyed, and so I was like, let me try out Absol. I went 3-2. But the two games that I lost, even though shenanigans happened, I'm just like, you know, this Absol's not meant to be that great. I'm just really just spamming super luck and hitting +1 critical hit moves just
yeah.
for some fun crits. That's what I'm doing. I'm having fun with it. But when I switch to my actual team, then I'm like, all right, I know this is a good team. I know what I'm doing. And then everything that little switch flips, and then I just get locked in, and then I'm hunched over like this. I'm just not blinking as I'm clicking.
I
But
mean,
it's
if
it's
there
still
was to
it's
be
still all fun.
a a bit of a CCC, not draft league action. What did we call it? Where we did one round and then called it quits because Reg I
Yeah,
was
so ladder, yeah,
the ladder
ladder
series.
series,
Yeah,
yeah,
Reg I was not the one to try that on. Not
yeah.
the one at
No,
all.
God, that
Um,
guy's ass.
yeah, it's so bad. So maybe if we bring back a quick ladder series for what is it, MNA? Are we in
M1A or something like that,
1A?
MA1 or
Yeah.
something like that.
They've changed the naming convention now. I don't know what it is anymore.
Yeah,
I must admit, I think it is more like understandable. I think it does begin with an M because
Mhm.
it's megas. I'm
Yeah,
assuming there's going to be like a G format, which is Gigantamax, or
yeah,
yeah, or
yeah,
Dynamax. It'll be D format, um,
yeah,
and then there'll be T formats. But yeah, like maybe
yeah.
ladder series might bring me back. That we might have to throw a quick ladder
That'd be
series
fun.
and see
Yeah.
what. Now it's more accessible to everyone. Um,
Mhm.
we just have to
For
do a
free?
a
Tier
tier
list.
list, and that's going to be hard because
It's gonna be hard.
I just saw last night that Wolfie got Mega Villain to #1 in the world.
Yeah.
So I would have put Mega Villain like I don't know what it does. I haven't
Yeah.
watched enough. When's the next
It's
event? Then I'll know. Then I'll know how to tier things.
uh, I think we got an event coming up relatively soon. It's a regional. Um,
That's gonna be
in a
wild.
few
I pray
yeah.
for every single person on those benches, man, because you have no clue what people are gonna
Mm.
run.
No, you don't. We're in a format where Aerodactyl is dominant because it's the fastest tailwind setter next that's not fastest non-prankster tailwind setter in the game.
Yep.
We got Wolfie running around with a Mega Scovillain that literally redirects, but its biggest move, its grasp move is Giga Drain. It just sits there and regenerates, and it's a stall mon basically, from what I could tell.
Yeah.
And then you got your basic megas like your and then but then again, there's so much. This is the first format that I've seen in a really long time where every weather is very prevalent. Like everyone, like snow teams, sand teams, rain teams, something. And there's not one that is better than the rest. I think obviously rain always tends to do a little bit better because there's just of such a plethora
There's
of
more beneficial
water type
types.
Pokemon,
Yeah.
and it's got better moves that gain that boost in rain, like Hurricane and Thunder and stuff like that, versus Sun, where I believe it's just Solar Beam if I'm not mistaken, and then Snow's
Yeah.
Blizzard. I don't think Sand does Sand do anything that makes something that's less accurate, 100% accurate. I don't know off the top of my
No,
head.
no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, the sun, the hail and the snow have the benefits of the defense and special defense boost,
Yes.
which is nice for to a certain degree. I
Mhm.
think that rain is just more prevalent because steel type is just so necessary,
It
and
is.
removing what is one weakness in fire, so
Mhm.
you don't it becomes neutral, but also
Mhm.
powering up a water type move against a ground type that can hit your steel type, and then your steel type
Yeah.
effectively resists everything in the game.
Yeah.
That's just the end of it.
Basically. Yeah. 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 That's why that's literally the only reason why I have a Gudra Hisui on my team is for brain counter. That's
Yeah,
literally why it's there. It's there to
and then
sit
you only
there
have
and
to
not
worry
die.
about what fairy, no dragon.
Not even dragon, just dragon,
Yeah, very
just
easily
dragons,
dealable.
and then Gudra Hisui is a special. It's just a tanky ass motherfucker.
Mm.
So like it's gonna survive unless it's a freaking mega Garchomp like Dragon Claw. It won't survive that, but it'll
I think if
survive
you
pretty
get
much
one
everything
shelter
else.
off, it will, because shelter does +3 defense, right?
Yeah, it does. So you can always do that off. So it's an interesting mod. I like it. I love seeing my rain counters. Anytime I see a Pelipper, I lead Gudra. And again, we're not like super into it where a lot of people know what they're doing. So they just don't expect my Gudra just to be running Thunder. So they don't sash the Pelipper because I guess everyone's running a bulky Pelipper for some reason. They put their sash on something else
Yeah, the
because
power creeps dropped a bit, so Pelipper actually
yeah.
has some. I saw some absolute monstrosities on Twitter the other.
Mhm.
Was it this week? It was this week on the way in.
Yeah, probably.
Someone running max defense, max HP, Mega Gengar.
Yeah, because I think just is still frail as a motherfucker. It'll just die, so you have
Yeah,
to bulk it because
I think
it's
this guy used a Mega Garchomp Dragon Claw and it lived on like 13%. And this guy, I just watched this guy scream, going, "How is it still alive?"
yeah, that's crazy, man. I'm loving the creativity I'm seeing. Yes, you're seeing a lot of the same teams. but I'm loving the creativity. But that's enough Pokemon talk, guys. I know it's a prevalent thing,
How dare
but
you?
we talk. I know, but I feel like we can't we could talk about champions for a whole hour and a half, and that will be great. But that's not why everyone's here. Everyone is here to learn a little bit more about one thing in particular, and that's how work is going for me. Because god damn it, nothing has changed. It's still stressful. The cook called out for 3 days this week, so I'm back in the fucking kitchen
Look,
frying up
chefing up.
fucking food, chefing up, bro. I'm so goddamn exhausted from all this fuckery. And that's what I call. I love my job and I love the staff, but god damn it, the most frustrating thing is when you're short staffed and then fuckers call out. I'm every time I'm like, yo, I want to scream at my phone every time I see someone like text me in like 9 o'clock at night and be like, hey, I'm not coming in because of XYZ. And I just look at my phone and I go, ah, and just and just like and I'm just like, why are we doing this? It's like my son's sick. Okay, your son's sick every other week or every week, dude. Like, get him to the doctor, give him some,
Is it
pump the
back to
boy with.
school? Have they already been in?
No,
No.
they've been in school for, it's fucking April, dude. They've been in school for goddamn 7 months at this point, dude. I'm like, pump the boy with vitamin C. The other one is always calls out on a Wednesday or a Friday for some reason. This person did have an actual sad excuse why they weren't able to be. And so she's off the hook, but every other time she's never off the hook. One person was scheduled off, which is fine. They scheduled like a month and a half off before all the turnover and shit happened. And I'm just like sitting there. I'm like, y'all are fucking, not only are you fucking me and you're fucking everyone else, but you're fucking your goddamn coworkers, which is
Yep.
just gonna build resentment, dude. You're just pissing everyone off. And it's fine. And I don't mind being in the kitchen. I really don't. The kitchen is like the easiest goddamn job in the fucking world. But motherfucker, I'm just I don't like the fact where I'm like planning myself. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna be in the kitchen today. And then someone calls out, and then I'm like, guess I'm not in the kitchen today. Guess I'm calling someone to come cook in the kitchen for me. So I had to be in a classroom. And then god damn it, we had to deal with this one parent's mother today. Oh my gosh.
Not on a
Jake,
Friday.
on
Right,
a
it's a Friday, man.
Friday.
Just chill. It's happy.
And this woman needs to be like a seamstress because man, the shit she be sewing up and taking us for a fucking ride and turning things around on us. It is so funny to me. I was just laughing hearing my boss have to deal with her on the phone. I just look at him like this is a shit I deal with every day with this person. And eventually we just got to the point where we're like, hey, we're gonna have to like kick your son out of school because of XYZ. And she's like, that's too bad because I'm putting in my week's notice. And we're like, we're giving you 2 weeks to find alternative care. She's like, okay, I need more time. I'm like, oh my God. I'm just like, I was like, and she's like, you guys just don't do anything right by him. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, ma'am, I don't know how else to put it to you. It's not the fact that your son doesn't listen. It's not the fact that your son tells his teachers no. It's not the fact that your son runs out of the classroom and when he gets mad, he pulls down his pants and stuff like that. That's not why we're kicking him out. All those things you'd be like, Jake's like, oh shit, you should probably kick him out for those things. That's not good. No, we're kicking your son out, and it's not even because he hits or kicks. It's because when he hits and he kicks, he's leaving marks on other children and your kid is 3 years
Yeah.
old and they're talking and they tell their parents who did it. And that's the problem. The problem is the children are saying, so and so hit me. Oh, where's this mark from? I mean, we write everything up because like we don't want to, we cover
Mm.
ourselves. So they're like, who did this to you? So and so, so and so, so and so. So I got 6 angry parents being like, why is so and so still here? Well, they're on a plan. We have to have this process. Da, 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 da. Month goes by, and they're like, "Why is he still here?" I was like,
Still on the
"Yo,
plan.
I was like, we do like 30 days. Like they've got to. I was like, I can't like really like divulge information, but we're working on it. And then the other day, one kid was like, I don't want to go in there. And they're like, why? Because so so. And the mom just looks at me and I'm just like, I look, I was like, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. So today I was just like, as I was like, it's done. Like we can't do this anymore. Like I like at this point, like the kid needs the boy. What the boy honestly needs is he just needs someone to be with him and sit with him and work with him one on one. And just unfortunately, we're just not the center that has that needs. And what he
Mm,
really needs is to what they really need to do is just to go to a center that can divulge one person or have a floater that can be in that room and work with him one on one because that's what he needs. And he just needs to be protected from himself because the thing with children is children are going to do things. Children are going to hit. Children are going to kick. Children are going to bite. Children are going to, you know, be physical. The problem is it's when it goes down to their first instinct is to do that. There's no other thing. It's like, you took my toy, not, hey, give it back to me. Or Mr. Luke, so and so took my toy. It's give me my
violence.
toy along with it's this, give me my toy. And it's just that's the thing. It's like
That's
that's
the
not
human
that's what we
way.
need to that's
That's the
what we need to stop. We need to have like, give me my toy back, please. No, so and so, Mr. So and so. Someone won't give
little
you. Hey,
Jimmy's
give him his
broke his
toy back.
legs.
Ex- exactly, and that's the problem, and that's where I'm like, this is the disconnect where they need the help because they need to understand that their reaction is not warranted for what's actually happening. Like
Yeah,
if you're getting hit and kicked, yes, defend yourself, right? But if you don't want something to happen, your first instinct should not be to hit and definitely should not be to go for like the neck or taking a toy and jamming it in
it's going
someone's
straight for the
side or
fucking kill. Just
or
pencil straight in
pinching.
the jugular. Just
Like this is the stuff I have to deal with on a daily, weekly basis with families, children, and stuff like that. And so this all happened today. All I know is I was like, all right, I'm finally done with the kitchen. It's been a nice day. Just went in the infant room, broke all the infant teachers, got to hang out with the babies. They're all sweet and super kind. I'm gonna treat myself to a Jersey Mike sub. And I come back from break. I haven't even eaten yet, and I just hear I see the boy up
tribal
front with
warfare.
I see the boy up front with my boss, with the mom on the phone, and I just hear the boy going, "No, no!" I'm just like, I literally just looked at her. And I just went and walked back out the
Going back to
goddamn
the
door.
kitchen.
I said, I just like, and then of course I turned back around and I just go, and I start listening. I'm like, I'm just hearing the conversation go and go and go. And I'm like, and I look at my thing. I'm like, I got 5 minutes to eat this sandwich. It's like I can't. I just walk back. I just unwrap my sandwich, eat one, like two bites of my sandwich, and be like, I'm gonna have to deal with this at the end of the day. I'm like, I have to talk to the parent again because again, I'm the patient one. I'm the calm one. I'm the one that can explain things calmer in a more like professional tone than some people. And literally just be like, honestly, we've done everything. Literally, the reason is because your kid hits to hurt and it leaves marks. If he didn't leave marks, we'd be okay. Honest to God, we'd be fine. But that's the problem.
You're making
Um,
paperwork.
you're
Stop
making too
making
much paper.
paperwork.
We have to write incident reports for every like situation that happens. Anytime a kid does something to another child that physically hurts them or leaves a bodily like bruise, a scratch, or just something that's just wildly inappropriate to write a report. The boy's been with us since middle of February, so about 2 months. The boy's got 30 reports in 2 months. And they're all
He needs to
physical.
put his numbers up. That's not one a day. That's what's one every other day.
That's
There's room
that's
for
one every
improvement
other.
there, little Jimmy.
There- Little Jimmy one day had 4 reports.
Good man.
4 reports.
Fucking get him told, little Jimmy. Fucking steel chair over the head.
It feels like that. It was like but like Chuck toy left not on head, was upset that someone was lying there, went for the neck, took a stick and swung it in someone's face because they didn't give him his stick back. And what was the fourth one? I can't remember. Oh yeah, the fourth one was got mad, picked up plate of food, threw it at child, other child, and other child had peach juice and eye, made eye red. Like I just when the teacher brought me 4 reports, I'm like, "Oh, what happened?" They're like, "Little Jimmy," and I was just like, "They're all from what like, did little Jimmy get hurt at all?" They're like, "No." I'm like, and I literally and at some point I looked at the teacher, I'm like, "Why are you not just, like, holding this kid the entire day for the safety of the class?"
Put a harness on him and
Yeah,
strap him to your
just
waist.
do something, man.
Oh
And the
man.
kid's the sweetest kid, and he's the sweetest boy in the entire I absolutely love this child. The child is so like he's so not he's not nice. He's definitely bad. But I like the bad ones because I'm like, I'm toxic. I like to fix a problem. And when I can't fix a problem, it makes me
Here,
mad.
little Jimmy.
Um,
Here's Pokemon Champions.
have fun. Exactly. But no, the boy's a sweet boy. He just needs help. He just needs someone to be with him
Yeah.
one on one. And just unfortunately, we can't do that, which is a shame. But I once you go, I always said the tough part with working with kids that are beyond public or primary school. Um, Once they get to public or primary school, about 9 times out of 10, there's enough stuff in said school systems that will be available to that child, that will be able to finally get the help they need. It's just getting them to the point where they're going into kindergarten. That's the hard part, really. And it's tough because there aren't a lot of child care centers that are equipped to handle it. So there's a lot of jumping back and forth. The consistency gets thrown off. And obviously, it's a bearing on the parent that does have to work. So my heart goes out to said family, and my heart does go out to the kid. It's just, our hands are tied. We run a business at the end of the day, and we'd rather lose one at the end of the day. It sucks to say this, but at the end of the day, we'd rather lose one family versus 6 families.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah. I mean, at
exactly.
the end, that's the bottom line. It's money at the end of the day.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Unfortunately,
does little Jimmy have it's like, does he have to come back for a reference? Do you have to tell the next
no,
center he goes to, or are they
no, no, no,
unsuspecting?
no. They don't. Child care centers don't do that. They don't call for a reference, but you can definitely tell when a kid has been kicked out of a center. It's pretty quick. You can pretty quickly tell where you're just like, yep, that's why they needed that spot filled real quick.
Yep.
It's always the ones who are like, I need to start as soon as possible. It's okay, so he's not sitting at home. It's you have a job and you need your kid in care, and this last care place is not good. Okay, cool. All right. Well, we'll
Well,
test it.
rock on, little Jimmy, man. You do you,
Yeah,
boo.
I love. Hey, listen,
You'll
man. He loves his
be. I'm
sharks,
sure
and
he's
that's
gonna be. It's always those guys that
yeah.
he'll be the smartest fucking
He'll
kid at school.
yeah, he will be. He'll be trading stocks by the time he's 13.
Yep.
Like he's
Like
got it. He's got it.
I was a bit like little Jimmy, just not violent. I was a bit manipulative as a kid. Like,
Really.
yeah, all the way through high school as well. I just knew how to play the system, but I never hit anyone.
Yeah.
So
There you go.
that's fine. That's fine. It's just
Yeah.
mental manipulation.
Yeah, I wasn't as a kid. I wasn't that. I wasn't a very violent physical person. To other children, it was just more to like things around me that weren't real that I was violent towards. Like when when I went to go shut the back door of my mother's car, and the edge caught me on the temple because I forgot to move out the way, and I just took a mean right hook to the back of her car and left a giant dent in it, and then had to go take it to a dent repair place, and they had to be like, "What happened?" And I'm like, they're like, "What hit it?" And I'm like, "My fist."
Yeah.
At like 13 years old, or like just random stuff. But I was never like to other children. Like obviously, like I've been in like 2 fights, like in high school, which I won 2-0, baby. But that's because I was just
What
I
a
was just
record.
I was world record. I'm undefeated in the backyard of the where did we fight? Behind the on the soccer field. That's where we fought.
Yeah.
We fought at the elementary school soccer field. That's where all the fights were held in high school. And but yeah, besides that, like no, I mean relatively as a child, I think my mom would say I was always my mom one thing my mom did, she scared me a lot. So I didn't want to get in trouble. So I always behaved because I didn't want to go home and get the belt.
Yeah,
I didn't want
we
the
were in the
belt.
generation where it was still
Yeah.
perfectly acceptable to smack the shit out of your child. Like I got
Oh yeah.
fucking beaten, beaten big
Mhm.
time. Still did it
Yeah.
though. Still never stopped.
Yeah, exactly.
Never
Opposite.
stopped.
Eventually, you just start building calluses, and it just doesn't hurt anymore.
I remember the exact moment where the last time my mum smacked me, and it
Oh,
didn't
really?
hurt, and I could see the light dwindle from her eyes. It's like, oh fuck, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
This kid now doesn't like.
Yeah.
It does not hurt. I mean,
Yeah.
it is what it is. I was good in school. Well, I
Yeah.
wasn't, but I got grades, so that's all that mattered. My mum didn't give a fuck. Like,
Yeah.
I never did any homework. Homework did not exist to me.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I told this to my teachers. I was like, I'm not doing it. And then they put me in detention. They try and make me do it. Don't matter. I was like, I'll sit here as long as you want. I don't care. School finished at 3:15. I'd leave at 5:30 because
Mhm.
I was like, you need to go home. I know you need to go home. You don't want to sit here, so I'm just going to sit here and
Mhm.
not do it as well. And I'll see you. I'll see you
Mhm.
tomorrow. I only lived 10-minute walk away from home. It did not bother me.
That's
Didn't bother
funny.
my mum either.
Yeah.
No, it's like it is what it is. Every time they go in on parents' evening, it's like he never does homework, and he never listens in class. And she went, "What's his grade?" I was like, "B." What's the problem? What's your problem? Is he affecting other people? No. I just used to sit there and doodle, and
Mhm.
I'm not fucking throwing shit at people or like
Yeah.
being a loudmouth. There
Mhm.
has been times where I've mouthed off, but that's my attitude to it. It's like if I don't care and I'm not interested, why
Yeah.
should I give you my time? And
Mhm.
I do worry if I do ever have kids because I'm gonna have the same outlook. Like
Yeah.
if they go in and what's the grade? Is it shit?
Mhm.
No. Is it pass? Yeah. Shut up then. Get on with your job.
Mhm.
Like I haven't got time to be dealing with this.
Yeah. No,
I
exactly. I mean, I think yeah, it's
go on.
tough.
No, it's
It's
okay.
tough. I was gonna say it's tough because you're right, from a parent's perspective, yeah, that's exactly the thought process you should have. As an educator, I think the thing is where the problem is with teachers is like educators tend to get butt hurt, right? Because they're like, "Oh, you don't." It's like you don't respect me. You don't like the fact you don't want to do put in the work that I'm telling. It's just an authority thing. Like a lot of teachers have this really rough issue with the fact that children don't listen to them. Like I've the quickest way to piss off a teacher is for the child not to listen to you. It's so quick for a teacher to just lose their shit. And so is the one kid who just doesn't give a fuck about what you have to say. Like, and you can sit there and you can try to make them bend to your will and you can make their day living on. They still will not listen because they just don't give a fuck. And at the end of the day, it's your job as a teacher to understand that that child just doesn't like you nor care. And as long as this child is not being disruptive, harming your class, harming children in your classroom, you
That's what
gotta
happened.
learn how to be. All you gotta do is be like, all right, I know little Jimmy just he's a lost cause for me. I'll just keep an eye out on him and hopefully he's doing okay. But like, I'm not gonna be like, little Jimmy, you didn't turn in your paragraph I told you to write about George Washington. That I'm gonna give you a B for because I don't know, because you said George Washington was the second president. I don't know. Like it's just like it's just like it's pointless. So yeah, like exactly. You're right there with the jig. Like that's just how it is.
I would
You're
like a
gonna
bit
have
of
students.
school reform. Not like that. It's not
Yeah.
the. I would like. It's not like the overall school reform. I'd like curriculum reform, really, like
I
across the board. Um,
you're preaching to the fucking choir.
yeah,
Oh my god. I could go
it's.
on for days
I feel
about how I
like our
hate
generation and the next
curriculum.
generation after is like severely disadvantaged because the curriculum is not updated to a real life.
No, it's not.
It's not. It's just not. Like, I
Yeah.
get
It,
maths. Like, maths is, it has to be there. Pythagoras theorem is and will stay forever because you
yes.
don't know. Like, Joe's like me and you, Luke. We're never going to use
Hmm.
it. Like, I'm down the science route. I'm down mathematical equations. I'm not going to do areas of a triangle and fucking angles and shit. But if you go into construction, you'll be using it every single
Sure.
day. So it's
Yep.
like, there's benefits for both of them.
Hmm.
Old school English, do I need to learn Shakespeare? No.
No.
Do you? Is it just because the English lecturers want to keep it alive to try and justify their
Yes.
position? In my opinion, yes.
Yes. Yes. That's true. It 1000% is. Like, that's how I feel about a lot of things. I feel like curriculum reform needs to happen. Like, I don't understand why the fuck we don't make personal finance our financial class, like not even like
Mandatory.
uh not even, yeah, a mandatory, like not even an elective or class, like mandatory. If you are a senior, it's your last year of primary or secondary school, you have to take that class
From the
because it
age that
just
you
is
are
good.
legally allowed to have a job, you should,
Yeah.
in school, I don't know if you're in, because I
Mhm.
know in the UK, you could technically have a job at 15, like a paid
Here
job at
you can
15.
you here you can have a job at 15 and 16 if you have what is called a worker's permit.
Yeah. So
But you have
at
to
the
get from a
moment you
guidance
can have that,
counselor.
you mandatory at that age,
Mhm.
whatever year group you're in, you have to take financial planning and budgeting.
Yep.
You need to understand how tax law works. You need to understand how to save for a house. You need to understand mortgage rates,
Mhm.
percentages, where your money's going, how it gets dividend. Like, so,
Yep.
because most of people's issues with government is that you don't know how it's spent.
Yeah.
It's like a common misconception in the UK is road tax. People think
Mhm.
I pay road tax. So when you buy a car, you then have to pay road tax, which I think is the same as like your license and registration, Luke. So you know that little
Mhm.
sticker that you get on your
Yeah.
number plate?
Mhm.
Exactly the same thing,
Yep.
but UK just does it without physical format. It's just tied to your number
Yeah.
plate. Um,
Yeah.
that road tax is not to repair the roads. Everyone says, "Why do I pay my road tax when I've got potholes on my road?" It's like, and all the roads look shit, and all the signs are falling down, and I can't read them, and nothing works. All the fucking traffic lights don't work.
Yeah.
It's like that
Has
tax
nothing to do
does
with that.
that tax is not that. That tax is an emissions tax because you pay it on the size of your engine. And if you're very rich and your car's over a certain value, they add just flat out just add £500 a year because
Mhm.
your car new was over a certain value, so you pay it.
Mhm.
That is like number one. Like, so everyone gets angry, like, why am I paying road tax? Why is it potholes? Your potholes are for your local government council to fix
Mhm.
out of their budget. You don't pay
Yep.
for that through road tax. You pay that through general taxation.
Mhm. Yep.
Uh, And I had to go out and learn all of this myself because I want to know
Yep.
where
Same.
my fucking money's going.
Exactly. Yeah. No, the fact that like I know when I get my check every day, every 2 weeks, and I see my federal come out and I see my state tax. And I know exactly that my state tax is going to fix the shit going wrong in my state.
Yeah.
Like
Or
the
it's for your
roads, the
bin
inter.
collections.
Exactly. Yeah. And it is crazy to me because like you said, I took that class in college and I paid $1,200 to take that class, technically speaking, because it was a college class. That was $400 a credit hour or something like that. But like the fact that I know it was an option to take in high school, like they had to offer that, but it's not like an option where it's like, here, you should take that. You have to go out of your way to find that. And God, like, damn, if I did not take that class in college, um, and then one day realize, oh, this shit's kind of important. I should probably pay attention to that when I graduated college and got a real job. And I literally took out my notebook that I took all my notes in and somehow decided to keep. And I flipped through. I'm like, oh, so that's what a Roth IRA is. Oh, so that's what this does. Okay, yada yada yada. I'm like, oh, this is great. Oh, this is how I invest. Like, I just think it's so dumb that that's not a requirement. Like, same thing. Like, I think it is very important that we take government in school so you can learn what your government does. But I think the way that they teach government is very boring because it's not practical. It's just like, this is what the Senate does. This is what the House does. This is how you become a representative. This is what this is what a filibuster is. Like, no, let's talk about how laws get passed and how political parties banter over laws. Let's talk about ideologies and stuff like that. Like, that's the one thing I'll never understand. And the thing with the public school system, at least in the United States, is it's so based on tests. You gotta pass your standardized test. All you need to know is the stuff that's gonna pass your test. Your final grade at the end of the day doesn't matter because all we care about is that our school, our district had the highest number on this test, so we can keep budgeting for our school from the state. And I hate that so much. Just as a history major myself, I find that it's very, very frustrating because that's the one reason why I did not pursue teaching history at a in a high school level. Because when I went to student teach, um, the guy that I was with, he just looked so dead inside. I just remember asking him straight up. I was like, "Do you like your job?" And he's like, "I like the fact that I get to work with kids every day because that's my calling in life. But I do, as a historian, it breaks my heart every single day that I just have to teach them facts and they don't ever get to ask why
Yep.
things happened." And that broke my heart because that's what history is. You got to know the why things happened in history to understand why it happened and what the repercussions of it were. Like, you need to be able to ask those questions because that's the antithesis of what history is. There's always a reason why something happens which made it history. But if you just need to know that, Japan bombed Pearl Harbor on December 7th, 41 or whatever, I can't even remember the date because it's so not even ingrained in my brain anymore because I don't really care about the date. I care about the fact that, oh yeah, that brought us to the war, and that was not very smart. Like, they did that because they weren't supposed to do that. They literally were supposed to turn around, and they didn't. And they're like, well, fuck it. And then they brought us into a war, and then we said, bet, and now it became a global world.
Bet.
You know what I mean? Bet. All right. We were trying to stay out of this. Now you brought us in. But like, that's the thing. Like, they care about the dates. Like, this happened here, this happened here. Not, well, what did it cause?
Yeah,
A
I'm
lot,
not a big fan
actually.
of written tests and
Yeah,
like
I hate it.
all on one exam. Like the
Yeah.
stress. And guess
Hmm.
what? What fucking smart ass went, you know what? We're going to stress these kids out to fuck. Right? You've got one test at the end of the year.
Yep.
Pass it, good. Fail, you're going to have to go back and do it again. All of it. You can only do it one time a year. And guess what? Every single subject in 2 weeks. Do it all at once. Exam period. Let's just put them all in the same fucking week. Whoever came up with that needs slotting.
Yeah.
I'm not putting it lightly. The amount of mental damage the youth go through
Yeah. Yeah.
because of fucking exam weeks
Yep.
is ridiculous. That is
Yeah.
the start of probably all the anxiety problems that young people
That we
have,
fit.
all the
Yeah.
mental health issues that you have. It's
Yeah.
all stemmed from let's sit them down for a whole week and try and tell them that this week defines their life. It's like, you do bad here, you're not going to succeed in life.
Yeah.
And the reason why they don't teach you about budgeting and stuff is because the higher education system is predatory. You tell me any kid that would go in to university for willing, knowing that their next paychecks for the rest of their life is going to be ruined by student loans.
Yep.
I guarantee at least 80% of the people that would have went to university would not have because they said I could make it on my own. And that's just the bottom
Yeah.
line. It's just a
It's
predatory
unfortunate.
system to pull more money out of young people.
Yep.
And if I ever gain power, because I never will, because I'm going to sit here and play Pokemon instead.
Exactly. And the sad truth of it all is at the end of the day, the higher education system is there. And the sad part is maybe 5 degrees at a basic 4-year university is actually worth it going for, and the rest of them ain't worth the fucking ink on the pen on your diploma,
Nope.
unfortunately. And it's just like it's a sad truth. Like I hate seeing children, and because they are children at the end of the day, like young adults, children at basically going in and putting in over God. How much am I in? How much was I in? I'm in. How much am I in debt for with my loans? I think it was like, and this was with financial aid. I think 30,000, and that was about with 50% of it paid off. So I would have been looking at 60,000 without
That's where I'm
any
at
help.
now.
And that was at, yeah, and that was at when I graduated 2016. So 10 years ago, and it's only gone up. And I have a degree in history.
Yep.
That ain't doing shit for me. I'm a director at a child care center because I love working with children. Um, God bless the person who went to school for theater. God bless the person who went to school for art. God bless the person who went to school for um there's another one that there was a lot of people who were in that major um like
It's the
econ and
creative
stuff like
section.
that.
The creative section
It's
is
it's so
it's
hard.
so bad. Like
Political
I'm not taking
science,
away
like
from
you're
any of
not,
the course, like the course
yeah,
value. Like that there
no
is
one's
value
taken
from
away from
learning,
it.
but
Yes,
you are going into one of the most competitive fucking industries in the world,
exactly.
and
Mhm.
you either have it or you don't in the creative industry. Like
Yeah,
they can't teach you creative flair. They can't teach you
yeah.
style. You I just look at my friend Matt, my best mate Matt. He's a graphic designer. I'd say he's made it. He's up there in
Yeah.
the top 5% of graphic designers in the UK.
Mhm.
He didn't get there from his university degree because they basically looked at once you get out of university, they don't give a fuck if you've got a degree. Yeah, that
No, they don't.
you go for the
They care about
degree for the
experience. They
the
care
free
about
software.
experience.
You get access to free software for 3 years, and you've basically got 3 years to teach yourself everything. Like just whatever you can learn it, because your
Yeah.
lecturers aren't going to teach it you. And then you work on your portfolio for free. It's a 3 year
Mhm.
cycle of paid stuff, so you can work on your portfolio. And then, if your portfolio is good enough, you may get a job. If it isn't,
Good luck.
good luck. Good luck.
Yeah. Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
it's mental. I'd be very like lucky in science. The only thing with science is the the um the graduation rate to the high rate is
Mhm.
the job opportunities is very, very competitive.
Yes, of
Like
course.
the trainee job that I applied for, because technically the shit thing about the shit thing about science and healthcare is that you leave university, you've paid all this money in university, and you leave not qualified.
Yeah.
I then had to do a training year at
Mhm.
75% pay after I graduated. Um, and the applications for that trainee job, it closed within 3 hours.
Yep.
And I was just the lucky one that got in. There are
Mhm.
still people to this day on my course that have never worked in biomedical science because they can't get a trainee post and they graduated 7 years ago. It's no more than 7 years. Fucking hell, I'm 30. I graduated what?
Yep.
No, 21. So 9 years.
Mhm.
It's mental. And if that
Yeah.
doesn't scream reform, not the British political party, I don't agree with them to a certain degree. Like they're not, they're
Mhm.
like hard right. No, they're not. They're center right. But yeah, reform the education system. That's
Yes,
what we're
and
talking about.
yeah, and it's sad that it's the same. Like it's not any different over here. Like you've talked about it here. It's like it's. I agree with you wholeheartedly, 1000%. Like it just needs to be reformed. It's unfortunate. I feel for our youth, but I will say this next generation of children, these are going to be the ones who don't take shit. Like the shit I'm seeing is like, I'm like, good for y'all. good for y'all for being like, no, fuck this shit. We're not doing this. Fuck this. Like, I love the fact that I'm seeing that because at the end of the day, like, real change is gonna happen when, like, I hate to say it. I don't like saying this, but real change will happen when the people who are born in the 60s and the 50s and 60s and 70s,
They
kick the
fumbled.
bucket.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
fumbled. They fumbled it big time.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
that's
When
just
they
the bottom line of it.
Yeah, when they kick the bucket, like that's when the change is going to happen because there are going to be people who are just like me and you who might be 40 and 50 at the time, which I don't want to fucking think about, but like we're going to be at the point where we've been dealing with this for 50 years and nothing's changed. So might as well for the next half of our lives see some actual change happen, and that's when the real change is going to happen. And it's going to be these generations of 20-year-olds, not 20 year 10-year-olds who are just now little Jimmy. This is going to be little Jimmy's generation coming through and sticking it
Little
to the
Jimmy's
man
gonna
and
be
saying we want.
fucking president of the USA.
I would love that. That would make me so happy. But yeah, I was like real change is gonna need to happen, man. But yeah, it's what a wild what a wild ride.
Yeah, I think earlier on. There was a fairly recent podcast where we went on this same rant, just
Yeah,
not in
I feel
detail.
like
Just like not in detail.
no.
It was like a small segment of what we were talking about.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think so. Because I feel like I feel like I'm repeating myself. I don't know when I said this, but I feel like I was like, I don't know if this was like an off-air conversation or a
No,
podcast
definitely. It
conversation.
was definitely a
Yeah,
podcast. I think we described, is your university degree worth it?
oh yeah, yeah, we
This is
did. Yeah, yeah,
more like generic,
yeah.
full education system,
His
and
his
the ones
his
above us
education worth it. Yes, it
fumbling
is
the
worth it.
bag.
Yeah, education is worth it. You guys need to go to school and learn, but you guys need to learn more important stuff than, you know, water, the water cycle. Like,
Yeah, and I
like
think you should be
I
able
think
to. What age can you pick in the? Can you pick in the US? Like, I know
yeah,
you can pick subjects in the UK.
you can pick as early as freshman year for your electives. And then from there you get to pick whether you want to take a specific like science or history. Like, so I got the choice between when I was in 10th grade, I got the choice between like earth science or oceanography, and I took oceanography. In history, I got a choice to pick. I got to do like I could go do like European history, or I could go do like Vietnam War or something like that. Like I could or US history. So I got to pick which history I wanted to go take. Same thing
That's
with my
good.
sciences. English was never a choice. It was always
Yeah, it's
basic English
fixed.
or advanced English. And advanced English literally was just you read Shakespeare, core, you don't read Shakespeare. um, and you got some papers to do. But no, like I think in high school, I think the electives I took in high school, I took cooking because it was like the easiest A ever. I took cooking. I took catering, which was the next level up from cooking. Um,
Yeah, using that now, are you?
yeah, yeah, I know. I am. Talk about a real life experience right there. Learning how to cook for teachers, and I'm cooking for fucking children. Um, Great time. Did I? What other like what else did I take? Was that it? Were those the only fun courses I took in high school?
See,
I
I could
think it
take
might have
4.
been. I
So
can't remember the other ones.
you had core science, English, maths, but well,
Mm,
it was science, English language, English literature,
yeah,
and maths.
yeah.
Um,
Oh,
they were core. So, and then I think I had a choice of 4. I
okay.
picked triple science. So that's like your
Mm,
advanced science. So that's biochemistry,
okay.
biology, chemistry, physics in the
Mm,
just in the standard in the foundation as they called it. Science.
yeah.
It was just all mixed into one in a way. But yeah, you had 3 separate exams for that. Um, I took history because I liked history. I took Latin classics, so classical
It's a
history.
language.
Yeah,
I took
Latin.
Spanish. Yep.
We had to do that, but then I got stuck doing French for 3 years because if you were good at French, you could take Spanish. If you were good at
Mm,
Spanish, you could take Latin.
Ooh.
Uh, I wasn't good at any of them, so I stuck with French for 3 years. Je m'appelle Jacob.
Me llamo Luke.
uh, and then what was my other subject? Music. Took fucking music.
Oh,
Because I wanted a DOS off subject. My mum said you could take one where you can just DOS
okay.
off. And like, I knew I was going to fail it. But I just wanted to
Yeah.
sit there for 60 minutes a day and play guitar. That's all I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So that was my GCSEs. Then I went to college, and you picked 4 in your first year, and then you dropped 1 in your second year. So I did biology, chemistry. Started with history, saw that they were going to make me write fucking shit tons of pages, so I dropped that and did computer science. And I took maths.
History.
I took maths with statistics and failed that big time because the jump from GCSE to college level maths is fucking so bad. So I dropped maths, and then for my final year of college, I did biology, chemistry, and computer science. In university, went to do biomedical science, and now ended up not using any of it because I'm in stem cell science.
Let's go. Love that. Let's see. Let's see. College, I took 5 classes a semester for 4 years. Um, the one math I was required to take, I took personal finance because I went to take statistics, and I immediately failed a test, and they're like, we're going to put you in tutoring for 3 hours every week. And I said, fuck that, drop that course real quick. Took personal finance, which is a 3-hour class once a week. Loved that class. One of the coolest teachers I've ever had in my entire life was there. Took 2 years of Spanish because I passed out of, was it 2? No, I took 3 years of Spanish because I passed out of 1 level. I did my science. My one science was environmental science.
That's cool.
I took took intro to theater, which is the easiest class ever. Most of my class was just to go to a play that the school was putting on, and if I went, I'd write a 1-page paper and I get an A, which is pretty fun. I took microeconomics because that was required for my history degree, and then I took the history of literature, which counted for 2 things. It counted for history and for one of my Englishes, which was nice. So I got to double up on that, and I got 6 credits for 1 course, which was really nice. And then the rest of it was histories, all the histories you could think of. I
Nice.
took U.S. history. I took world history. I had to take a political science class. That was lame. I didn't like that one. I took political science. I took philosophy. I took anthropology. Anthropology was the one course I couldn't get. It was the study of people. I never really got it. That was the only class I got a C in, and I just could never get above a C. No matter how hard I tried, I just didn't. Just couldn't wrap my head around it. But yeah, I took U.S. history. I took world history. I took world history part 2. I took the history of the Ottoman Empire. I took
Nice. Fuck yeah.
that was awesome. I took World War II history. I took American Revolution. I took Civil War. I took French Revolution and Napoleon history. I took what was it called? Not micro history, which was the history. No, what was it called? What the fuck
History
was
of
that
small
class?
things.
No. It was historical. I can't remember. Basically, it was a history class to teach you how to write in history, how to like be a historian. So like
Okay,
that's was like, yeah, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. And yeah, I took basically what it was. I would basically take 2 non-history subjects, like a math or a science or a math, or I would usually take Spanish and then a math, science, or like one of those 1 semester, and then 3 other history classes on top of that. And I loved that. Like, and I was not like the best. Again, I was your B student. I graduated with a solid 3.3 GPA. It was all because in my history classes, I would get 90s, and the only reason they would never give me 100 is because I never proofread my papers, and I refuse to proofread my papers. They're
That's
like,
fine.
"Why don't you proofread?" And they're like, and they would read them, and they were like, "There's nothing wrong with your paper. except there's just so many grammatical errors and spacing errors. And I'm just like, and it's like, and I see you turned in at 11:35 p.m. when it was due at 12 o'clock. I'm like, I'm a procrastinator, but what can I say? I work great under pressure. And he's like, if you just proofread, and I'm just like, no, I was like, no, can do, Dr. Cole, can't do that. And I was just like, oh, here comes Justice walking down the hallway, not proofreading his paper. And like I would hand them my papers because they would want us to turn them in like via document, like we would upload them to like Canvas
Yeah.
or whatever it was at the time. But they still wanted a physical copy as well because all my professors are old as fuck and they don't like reading on the computer. They like reading the physical paper. And I would turn them over, and every time they'd be like, "Did you proofread?" I'm like, come on now. and, and
Stop
they would
playing.
just laugh.
Stop playing.
Yeah, and I remember I was a senior at this point, and Dr. Cole, the head of my department, I did an internship with him, for for his research paper. Like I basically have to go do research. It was really really cool. I actually really want. I like thought about like maybe I could be a historian and be like a historical aide and just read through old documents to find one thing. We were looking for the 43rd, no, the 13th Cavalry Regiment of the South Carolina Division of the Confederate Army, and we're looking for this like so we're looking through atlases and pages for anything that mentioned the 14th, the division, 14th Cavalry Division, and I did that for a whole semester with them, which was super cool. I got to read some really old documents, and then my one of my senior papers. I don't want to drag one of them. He's never going to listen to this. So his job's fine. When I
I'm gonna
turned in
send
my
it him. I'm
senior
gonna find
paper,
him and email it him.
I turned to my senior paper, which was I reworked one of my Napoleonic history papers because I was talking about like Napoleon didn't fail because he invaded Russia. Like everyone says that that was the main reason. It definitely is a reason, but it really is his economic policy. And I took that and spun that into a 30-page paper, and I turned that in. And he just looked at me. He's like, "Did you proofread?" I was like, "Nope." And he just wrote 90 on the paper and tossed it in the pile. I said, "I'll read it eventually." and, and I just he's like, I trust it. And then he emailed me and he's like, so I read your paper. It's really great. I gave it to Dr. Munson, who was my Napoleonic teacher. And he said, damn, this is one of the best papers I've ever read. If I didn't want to punch a wall every time I saw the comma was not where it needed to be. and
That's
that
exactly
is
what mine
my
sounded like.
life and that is my life as a student. I was great at writing papers, but god damn it, I still don't know where to put a comma when it matters
Me
most.
neither. Me neither. I'll just put it randomly in the middle of the sentence and go, that looks right.
Yep. That
Oh
sounds like
man.
a nice little break in the sentence, so it's not a run on. All right, perfect.
That's where I'd take a breath,
Fuck a
but
semicolon.
but I don't know his lung capacity. I can't predict where he's gonna stop.
Exactly. I'm like, I've been reading for a whole. I think I've read 8 sentences here in one sentence, but like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Who needs a run off? Who needs a run on sentence? But I
Oh,
will say the one thing I will say about being a historian, the one thing I do really appreciate that has never left me is learning how to cite my papers and my sources, and the best style ever, the Chicago style, which is the premier style of
I'm trying to think
citations.
of
Fuck
it.
MLA. I think you probably would have done
I
APA
know.
because you were science.
Um, no,
Maybe
it
unless it's
was down to
different.
the lecturer. It was they changed per like
Ooh,
subject depending on what they want.
interesting.
So like
Right,
I
they will
remember
always.
a lot of them used Harvard.
Yeah, that's a big
I
one.
do remember a lot of doing APA. But there
Yeah,
was one submission I think that used Chicago. Um,
yeah, that was my favorite one. Love it. You ibit everything.
yeah. But I
IBID
mean,
ibit.
I used EndNote, so you
Yeah,
basically
I
just
use
it was
yeah.
an online database manager, and then you just insert
Mhm.
them in, and then if you want to change
Yeah.
it to Harvard, you just click I want Harvard, and it does it all. It's
Oh yeah, no,
awesome.
they hated that shit. They did not want us learn using anything. They were like, nope, you need to learn how to do. I had a little book that taught me how to cite everything in Chicago format. And anytime anyone ever asked me to cite in a different format, I looked at them dead in the face and I said no.
Nope, can't do that.
They were like, I was in English and they were like, all right, so we're gonna use MLA. And I just raised my hand. I was like, can I cite in Chicago? And they were like, no. And I was like, I'm just like, I'm not. I was like, I'm sorry,
You're
MLA
getting
sucks,
Chicago.
dude. And they're like, what do you mean? It's like it's the most distracting thing ever. Why do I want to be reading a paper and be like, George said, take the bus, John 3 in the paper? Like, who wants that? Put a nice little 3 in there and go to the footnote. Like I hated that shit for anything that wasn't Chicago. APA was okay. I didn't hate APA. Harvard was all right, but Chicago was just the best one ever. And God, if you told me to write an MLA, I took a I'm sorry, going on a rant here. I took so in order to graduate, I graduated and I was short 6 credits. So I walked across the stage and I just went to my community college and took 2 choke classes. I took public speaking, which like hello, I can speak very well. Um and so that was the easiest A I ever took. And then I took another history class. Like, oh, this is gonna be a joy wall. It was basically a high school history class, but like I did history for 6 years. It was the easiest thing. But the professor was like, so we're gonna write an MLA. And I went, I slammed my hands on the table. I said, what? And they're like, yeah. It was like, absolutely not. We are writing. I was like, I'm writing in Chicago. She's like, well, you have to write an MLA here. I'm like, I was like, ma'am, you're writing, asking me to write a history paper in MLA. That's not okay. Like, I can't do it. I physically cannot do it. I cannot stress this. And she's like, well, you're just gonna have to figure it out. And I was like, ma'am, you're gonna get a paper in Chicago and you're gonna like it.
You can,
and,
you're gonna
and
force
she's
it to
like,
like it.
and she said, all
Okay.
right, you can. She's like, you can have. She said, if there is one single error in your citation style, I will fail your paper. I was like, okay. And I
Bet.
turned to my final paper the next day. Never went back to class. And she looked back at this paper and gave me 100 and an A in the class and said, "Don't come back to my class. You don't need to be here." She said, "Just show up for the group project at the end of the month if you need to help all these other people." I still came to class every day because I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm just doing
Yeah.
nothing anyways. I might as well come in and sit in class and just make this teacher's life easier. So she's just not talking to the peanut gallery who's like, I don't know what this is. Da, 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 da. And I'm just like, yeah, this is this. And then they're like, she's like, okay, Luke, like we get it. You have a degree in history. Why are you in this class? "Oh, I just wanted an easy A to help my
Yeah.
GPA." And she's like, okay. And then she asked me to help teach the class how to write Chicago. I was like, oh, this is great. Awesome. And everyone else just like, what the fuck? I was like, guys, MLA sucks ass. You're never gonna use
It's a weird
citations.
thing, isn't it? With the like
It's just so
referencing really isn't a thing until you hit that level of education, and then it becomes like
yeah,
the make or
you
break
have
of
to.
of
Yeah,
a
because
paper.
it's basically plagiarism at this point. They're like, yeah, everything you
I
say
didn't
is
even know
not
what
your own
fucking
idea.
plagiarism was. I didn't know of the word until I got out of college. It's like, what the fuck do you mean?
Yep. What is plagiarism? If not, everything's plagiarized at some point. They basically said the way it was described to me is if you don't cite your sources, you're basically saying that you came up with this idea. And I'm like,
I did.
you know, I was
Came
like,
out of my brain.
the cockiness of me said, well, technically it came out of my brain. I don't know where it came from, but at some point I thought of this thought and now it's on this piece of paper. So I'll just put justice one at the end of it instead of, whichever one. Citation, Luke Justice Mine, 1045, October 7th, 2015. Location, dining hall.
Dining. All right. Well, I think
All
that'll.
right.
I'm gonna have to stop
I
you
think
there,
that'll
Luke, or
do
else
us.
you'll
Yeah,
go
I
for
think
another
so.
45 minutes.
I'll find something to talk about. No, but guys, honestly, thank you guys so much. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was fun. I like going down these little rants and going down memory lane and thinking about stuff I haven't thought about. And like, I don't think I've thought about Chicago citation styles in like 6 years at least. I haven't
You
thought about
triggered a
it, you
bit of
know.
PTSD. I'm not gonna lie.
Love it. I love it. Well, PTSD aside, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Make sure you guys listen, like, share. We really appreciate you guys each and every week. And we'll be back with another episode next week's. Until then, guys, bye bye.